The photograph wasn't very old, maybe just a decade or two, but his mom looked so young. The woman had to be on the poor side of 30, judging by the date stamped in the corner, but she looked all of 19 years old. She was standing on a rock, surrounded by trees and bushes so vibrantly green she could have been standing in a Bob Ross painting. The picture itself was not flattering. It was no wonder the thing had been buried 7 boxes deep in the hall closet. His mom was in mid-gasping laugh, expression transformed with the kind of joy that crumpled the face in strange crisscrossing faults of laughter and lifelines. He could almost hear the snorting laugh projecting itself out of the photo. She looked so happy. He wished he had noticed earlier the decline in that kind of joy. Wished he had been able to head it off before things got to this point. In the picture, her arms were wrapped tightly around a man who was not laughing, but seemed to fondly roll his eyes at her. The man had one eye marine blue, and the other whiskey brown. One hand clamped securely around Mom's waist, as though he were holding her snorting frame upright. There was a ring on the index finger of his right hand. It was the ring he could always remember hanging around her neck. The one that had found its way to his desk at work just an hour before, prompting him to call his mother, and, when there was no answer after several attempts, incited a frenzied drive to his childhood home, only to find everything covered in a thin layer of dust. He flipped the photo over to find a note scratched in pencil. Francis Marion National Forest. Try to keep up, kid. It was dated for only 3 days before. He had no idea how he was going to find her this time, with this much of a head start. She was getting crafty in her old age. He stood and tucked the photo in his pocket, not bothering to fix the mess he had made in the narrow hallway.